There's a little red light on the camera. An infrared diode, it blinks when the sensor's live. A slow red pulse in the dark, and it never makes a sound. For 3 weeks, that blink was the most comforting thing I owned. Something's awake in the yard, so you don't have to be. Go back to sleep. I thought a camera would make me feel safer. That's the part I got most wrong. The night this really starts, I was awake when my phone lit up at 3:37. Face down on the nightstand, the ding came into the dark room, small, then everywhere. All caps, the way it always came, motion detected. I'd had 100 of those. Deer mostly. I almost didn't look. It wasn't a deer. This isn't paranoia. I do medical billing off a laptop, and I live alone 2 years since the divorce. I took the cheap place, state forest 30 feet off the back porch. I chose it. The porch light was the trouble, a motion floodlight snapping on at some god-awful hour, flooding the blinds white. I'd wake to the hum, flat, low, waiting. By that last week it tripped most nights, always on nothing. Deer, I figured. Or the thought that cost me $42 a person, walking up out of the trees. I bought the cheapest trail cam there was, a GameHawk 400. Anything crossed it, the picture came to my email, time burned in the corner. I strapped it to the big oak, aimed at the house. The first week was boring, and boring was wonderful. A doe and 2 fawns at 9:40. A fox at 11:20, white in the infrared. Green-gray snapshots of my own backyard, and I looked forward to them with my coffee. Then a Thursday, one came in that wasn't an animal. Back at the tree line at the edge of the infrared, a pale shape stood between 2 trunks. Person-shaped. Too far and washed out to be more than that, a smear of warm light where the dark should have been. 2:14 a.m. It took me a while, the way night vision flattens everything. A pale line ran down the near side of it, low, almost to the ground, a birch sapling, I decided. Until I saw where it started. Not at the ground. At the shoulder. It was the arm, hanging past where a knee should be, its end lost in the leaf litter. I held my own arm out in the dark. A person doesn't reach that far. And on the nights it showed up, the woods went quiet. No crickets on the clip. No anything. Like the yard held its breath to let it by. I did what you do. Explained it. I zoomed in until the shape went to mush and called the mush a deer. But I kept the camera on. Told myself I was building a case, a shot for the sheriff. That was the lie I could live inside. The truth was simpler. I had to know. It came back the next night. Closer, out in the open grass, 20 feet from the porch. 2:53. And the framing was wrong. I'd aimed that camera myself, but the shot sat a few degrees off, like the lens had turned its head to keep the shape centered. I told myself I'd bumped it. Every night after, closer, later. 3:09. 3:20. 3:31. Something walking at the house, keeping time. I'd wake on my own before the phone lit, around 3:30, into a house gone wrong quiet. The same held breath hush the woods had on the clips, in here now, in the dark over my chest. And I'd wait for it to ding. I drove the clearest photo to a deputy named Cerna. He tapped the pale shape. That's glare, infrared flare off a branch. For a second I saw it his way, nothing there, and I was the only one it meant anything to. That was worse. The photo that broke me came in on a Tuesday. 3:34. It wasn't the yard. It was the oak. My camera strapped 4 feet up the trunk, the little dark box I'd paid for. The picture was looking straight at the camera, from maybe 6 feet away. Then it landed. A quiet house at 3:30, my pulse thick in my ears. For that photo to exist, something had to be standing there, holding a lens where no lens was. Standing where I'd stood 3 weeks before, saying out loud, like an idiot, "Okay, buddy. Smile." The camera had taken a picture of itself, from where I'd stood to hang it. After that, the email stopped being about the yard. The subject line never changed, motion detected, every time. Only the clock did. 3:37 now, everyone dead on. The photos climbed the house, one ding at a time. The back steps from the flower bed, the porch boards from the steps, my kitchen window from outside, the glass flaring green, my dark kitchen behind it. Then the same window, but the flare on the far side now. Shot from the inside. The window. From the inside of it. It was photographing its way in room by room, politely, like it wanted me to keep up. And I opened every one. 3:30 in the morning, sick. I tapped the attachment anyway because not knowing was worse, and because, God help me, after 2 years alone, something out there was finally paying attention to me. One afternoon, I walked out to the oak. If someone had my camera, I'd know it'd be gone or turned. It was right where I'd left it. I put my hand on it, cold in the afternoon sun, the strap still cinched where I'd set it, not moved a hair. Nobody had touched it. Nobody could have. Nothing about the box was wrong. Everything about the pictures was. So the photos weren't from a man in my yard. That night I drove into town, took a motel and slept. At 3:37 the phone woke me. Motion detected. My bedroom. My empty bed, the covers thrown back the way I'd left them. It hadn't followed me. It didn't need to. I drove home before light. Where was I going to go? It had the house. The last email came 4 nights ago. 3:37. I didn't hear the ding. Every night I'd stayed awake to catch it, straining at the dark, and the one night it mattered nothing. I was asleep. The photo was the inside of my house. The hallway shot from the far end, looking toward my bedroom. Everything in it mine, my coats, my boots, the crooked frame I keep meaning to fix. My door, open the way I leave it. The foot of the bed. And me in it. Asleep. One arm off the side. The camera was bolted to a tree in the yard. Something took that photo from inside my hallway at 3:37, standing over me while I slept. You've slept like that. One arm off the mattress, hanging over the dark under the bed where you can't see your own hand. I sleep dead center now. Both arms in. It doesn't help. I'd had it backwards. It was already in, since the first night the porch light tripped before I owned a camera. The camera became it. It's I. No hurry. It lived here now. So did I. And only one of us still needed to sleep. So, that's what a $42 camera got me. I'm not telling you this to scare you. It worked exactly the way it was built to. Motion detected. It caught mine. It caught the other things. It never told the two apart. If your porch light keeps tripping and you go out with a flashlight and you never find the animal, leave it. Let it trip. Don't buy the camera. It works. That's the problem.